Hello from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Today we're looking at 6 things as we dive into 1 Samuel 8 and 9. We're starting to see Israel, first off, solidify as a nation in the promised land. Now Samuel has begun to grow old and he asks his sons to help him take over this judging that he's been doing. But they're corrupt, kind of like the sons of Eli were. They're doing all sorts of things that they should not do. So number 2, the people get fed up with it and they ask Samuel to anoint a king. So Samuel is shocked and is angry about it because God is supposed to be Israel's king. But he turns to God, as you should do, for some answers. Number 3, God intervenes and says, "Don't worry, Samuel, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me." So, here's what I want you to do. Fuss a little bit at them and show them what it will cost them to have a king. Let them know he's going to put their sons and daughters into service. He'll raise an army of the men from the nation. He's going to get 1/10 of your crop. Just think about this part a little bit. They were paying taxes to nobody. And now they're going to have to start paying taxes. That's going to happen. And, by the way, could you imagine if our taxes were only 10%? We'd be probably much more supportive of the government at a 10% tax rate. Well, anyway, nevertheless, you're going to get that if you have a king. And so the people go, yeah, that's fine. And then God says, now listen, if you accept a king, there's one caveat now that I'm going to give you, is that when you get tired of having a king and you complain to me, I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to change things for you. We're just going to keep things the same. And guess what? Israel's going to run on a bad streak of kings, but we'll get there down the road. They're going to complain, but God is not going to fix it for them. They're going to have to pay the price. Well, number 5, God chooses Saul to be the king. He's a handsome man. He's tall. His head and shoulders are above everybody else's head. So he's clearly someone they can look up to metaphorically and physically. And number 6, Saul doesn't know, though God has told God has told Samuel about Saul. Saul's wandering around looking for some lost donkeys of his uncle's, and he says, well, we're about where that man of God is. Let's go find him and maybe he can help us. And so he makes his way in front of Samuel, and Samuel knows he's coming, so he prepares a feast. He anoints him, says the donkeys are fine, by the way, and he's made him king of Israel. So let's jump into the text and we'll see how this goes. Chapter 8. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the firstborn was named Joel, and the name of his second was Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, and they turned aside after lucre, which is like bribes and filthy money. They took bribes, perverted judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves, and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said to him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us, like all the nations, because we really want to be like the nations around us. Blah. But the thing displeased Samuel, and they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord, and the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. According to all the works which they have done since the day I brought them out of Egypt unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so they shall also do unto thee. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign under them. I love that part. It's so great. He's like, okay, you got to fuss at them a little bit and tell them what they're going to get. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked him of a king. And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He'll take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots and to be his horsemen. and some shall run before his chariots, and he'll appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50, and will set them to ear his ground and reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. So he's going to press him into service. He probably won't pay him very well, but they're going to have to do it anyway. That's what a king does. And he'll take your daughters to be confectionaries and to be cooks and to be bakers. And he'll take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. He's going to take away your stuff and give them to his friends. And he will take 1/10 of your seed of your vineyards and give to his officers and to his servants. And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses and put them to work. And he will take 1/10 of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants. And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen. And the Lord will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, Nay, we will have a king over us, that we will be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and they rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord. The Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. Samuel said unto the men of Israel, Go ye, every man unto his city. Chapter 9. Now there was a man of Benjamin, whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zerah, the son of Bechereth, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he had a son, whose name was Saul, a choice young man, and goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. From his shoulders upward he was higher than all the people. So he's handsome, or goodly, and he's tall. And the asses of Kish, Saul's father, were lost. I said uncle, apologies. And Kish said to Saul his son, Now take one of the servants with thee, and arise, go seek the asses. And he passed through Mount Ephraim, and he passed through the land of Salisha, and they found him not. They passed through the land of Shalem, and there they were not. And he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they found them not. And he had come to the land of Zuph. Saul said unto his servant that was with him, Come, let us return, lest my father leave caring for the asses, and take thought of us. And he said unto him, Behold, there is a city, a man of God, and he is an honorable man. All that he saith cometh surely to pass. Now let's go thither, peradventure he can show us the way we should go. Then Saul said to his servant, But behold, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spent in our vessels, and there is not a present to bring the man of God. What have we? And the servant answered Saul and said, Behold, I have here at hand 1/4 part of a shekel of silver. That will I give to the man of God to tell us our way. Before in Israel, when a man came to inquire of God, he spake, Come, let us go to the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. Then Saul said to his servant, Well said, come, let us go. And they went to the city where the man of God was. And they went up to the hill to the city, and found young maidens going out to draw water, and said unto them, Is the seer here? And they answered and said, He is. Behold, he is before you. Make haste now, for he came today to the city, and there is a sacrifice of the people today in the high place. As soon as you come to the city, ye shall straightway find him, before he go up to the high place to eat. For the people will not eat until he come, because he doth bless the sacrifice. And afterward they eat that be bidden. Now therefore get you up, for about this time ye shall find him. And they went into the city, and when they were come to the city, behold, Samuel came out against them for to go to the high place. Now the Lord said to Samuel in his ear before Saul came, saying, Tomorrow, about this time, I will send thee a man out of Benjamin. Thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Israel, that he may save my people out of the hands of the Philistines. For I have looked upon my people, because their cries come to me. And when Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said unto him, This same shall reign over my people. This same will reign. Then Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate, and said, Tell me, I pray thee, where is the seer's house? And Samuel answered Saul and said, I am the seer. Go up before me unto the high place. Ye shall eat with me today, and tomorrow I will let thee go, and will tell you all that is in thine heart. And as for the asses that were lost 3 days ago, set thy mind not on them, for they are found. And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is it not on thee and on thy father's house? And Saul answered, Am I not a Benjamite of the smallest tribe of Israel? and my family the least of the families of Benjamin? Wherefore thou speakest to me so? So we already found out his family, his dad is kind of well-to-do. So this could be just humility, or maybe it is actually size-wise. But Samuel took Saul to his servant and brought them into the parlor and made them sit in the chiefest place among them that were bidden, which were about 30 persons. And Samuel said unto the cook, Bring the portion which I give thee, which I said unto thee, set it by. And the cook took up the shoulder that was upon it, and set it before Saul. And Samuel said, Behold, that which is left. Set it before thee, and eat. For unto this time hath it been kept for thee, since I said, I have invited the people. So Saul did eat with Samuel that day. And when they were come down from the high place into the city, Samuel communed with Saul on the top of the house. And they arose early, and it came to pass on the spring of the day that Samuel called Saul to the top of the house, saying, Up, that I may send thee away. And he arose and went out, both of them, he and Samuel, abroad. And as they were going down to the end of the city, Samuel said to Saul, Bid the servant pass on before us. And he passed on. But stand still a while, that I may show ye the word of God. Then Samuel took a vial of oil, poured it on his head, and kissed him, and said, Is it not the Lord that has anointed thee to be captain over his inheritance? So there you go. We've got a new king in Israel. Will this be the solution for Israel's problems? Will it be better for them than the judges? We'll see. Time will tell. But we know this, that the key to Israel succeeding, and indeed ourselves succeeding, really lies not in our abilities or our circumstances, but in the fact that we follow God. When we follow God, He takes care of us. We do it His way, it goes better. So I encourage you today, do that. Follow God and your life will improve. Almost guaranteed. So, thanks for joining us as we plunge in. Let's see what happens. Catch you next time.